In this video, I will show you how you can run n8n locally so you can build AI agents and AI automations completely for free. Setting up n8n locally can seem more technical, but don't worry, I'll make it as simple as possible. By the end of this tutorial, you will have working version of n8n up and running. To set up n8n locally, we are going to use this incredible self-hosted AI starter kit provided by the n8n team. This AI kit is basically an auto installer. It bundles n8n together with all of the AI tools it needs to work. So instead of dozen complex steps, we just pull the file from GitHub and run few quick lines to the terminal to tell Docker to set up entire n8n workspace for you automatically. The link is below this video. But before we install the AI starter kit, we need to install Docker. Think of Docker as a tool that creates perfect isolated environment so this kit runs smoothly without any errors. Because without it, you would face complicated setup issues, software conflicts, and in many cases, it simply wouldn't work at all. I know Docker can sound a bit intimidating if you never used it before, so let me show you what's actually happening under the hood. It's much simpler than it looks. I've created a simple cookie analogy to help you visualize this, because when you understand the relationship between a recipe and a cookie, you've basically mastered Docker. To understand how Docker works, we just need to look at the three main parts: the image, the container, and the volume. So the image is the recipe. Think of an image as a master template. It's a file that contains every single instruction and ingredient needed to run a program, but it isn't live yet. It's just the plan on paper. The container is the baked cookie. When you tell Docker to run that image, it follows the recipe and creates a container. It's the actual living program running on your computer. And the volume is the cookie jar. Because containers are temporary, if you shut down your container, its memory is wiped and it resets to 0. So the volume is your safe cookie jar. It's the persistent storage where you keep your AI workflows, your AI agents, and your credentials. And because they are stored in the volume, they stay safe even if you restart the system or turn your computer off. See these dashed lines? That's the most important part. That's the connection that keeps your work from disappearing when container resets. So the container stores that memory inside the volume. Now let's take that cookie logic and apply it to the actual AI starter kit we are installing today. So instead of just one recipe, this kit gives us 4 different master templates, or we can call them images, that work all together as a team. We are going to have n8n workspace for building all your automation, Olama, local AI that runs without an internet connection, Quadrant, AI memory that helps your agent remember facts from your documents, and Postgres, database that handles all your data safely behind the scenes. So when we run our command in few minutes, Docker is going to take these 4 templates, or we can call them images, and bake them into a container. Inside, they can talk to each other locally, but because they stay in their own protected bubbles, they will not fight with your other computer files, and they will not cause any version errors. They will work perfectly every time. So now just go to docker.com, here hover over this button and select the version of your operating system. For me, it's going to be Apple Silicon. Don't worry, it's completely for free. So now let's run the installation. Let's open up the Docker. And now you need to set this up just a regular program. So now we have Docker installed, and the next step is open up your terminal. If you are on Windows, make sure you run it as administrator. For me, I will just open search and look for terminal, click enter, and as you can see, I have a terminal here. Now let's close the Docker for a moment and let's go back to the GitHub repository. Now let's scroll down to the installation section and select the right installation process. So here you have multiple options how you can install this AI starter kit. So you have for NVIDIA GPU users, you have for AMD GPU users on Linux. For my case, it's gonna be Mac, Apple Silicon users. So if you are Windows user, you need this setup. And now the only thing you need to do is copy and paste this line by line into the terminal. So copy the first line, go to the terminal, paste it here and click enter. Then copy the second line, go back to the terminal, paste it here, click enter, and be careful with the third line because you need copy only this text. Don't copy hashtag and the text after the hashtag. Hashtag means it's just a comment and we don't want any comments in this case. And then just copy the last line, also go back to our terminal, paste it there and press enter. I'm gonna do this setup in a few moments as well, but because I am Mac Apple Silicon user, I need to download Ollama as a separate application to my Mac. So if you are also on a M1 or newer processor, you need to go to ollama.com and download Ollama locally. After you download it, run the app as well, and only after I downloaded the Ollama, I can run this code as well. So now I have Ollama as a separate app on my Mac, and now we can do the same thing. I will copy and paste it line by line. So I'll copy the first one, go here, paste it. Now we cloned the repository. It means that we just downloaded all of the files from the GitHub. Now we will use the cd command. Cd means that we will go to the folder that is named self-hosted AI starter kit. So now we are inside the folder. Now we will use the cp command. This means that we will copy to our computer a file with the env ending to configure it a little bit so it runs smoothly on Mac. And now before I do the Docker compose up, I need to go to this env file and set Ollama host to host docker.internal, etc. So on my Mac, I will go to my homepage. I will open Finder with all of my files, and here you should have your root folder with a house icon where you have all of your files. If you can't see it, don't worry, just go up to the left, click on Finder, click settings, and here you can see all of the folders. The name of mine is just my name, so it's Roman MLN. Yours should have your own name. So just check it, then close it. And here we see the folder with the self-hosted AI starter kit. Let's open it. So what we need to do is edit the env file, but as you can see, there is no file in here. And you need to click Command Shift period. So let's right click on this file, open with text edit, and the only thing we need to do is click here and delete this hashtag. So make sure it looks like this. And now what you need to do is press Command S. Make sure you press it, because if not, it simply wouldn't be saved. So now once we have that, let's close this. Let's close the Finder as well. Let's go back to the GitHub repository. The last thing we need to do is copy the last line, go back here, paste it inside and press enter. And once I pressed enter, now it will pull all of the things we need in order to use this AI starter kit. So as you can see, it's pulling n8n, n8n import, Postgres and Quadrant. So it can take you a few minutes depending on your hardware. And now we can run the n8n locally on our computer if we go to the localhost 5678. But right now let's open up Docker. Let's move it down a little bit, close this window, and here we can see the container. And if we open it, here we see all of the things that we pulled from the GitHub repository. So if we click here, it will open localhost 5678. So let's click it. And now we can see our local n8n setup. And here you can set up owner account. And now I am inside the local n8n. As a Mac user, the last thing I need to do before properly using n8n locally is download some LLM. If you are a Windows NVIDIA user, skip to the next part. Here's the time code as well. So as a Mac user, what we need to do is go back on ollama.com and go to the models section. And what we need to do is select some LLM from all of these and download it into our Mac. I will download Llama 3.2 because it's pretty small, but at the same time pretty strong LLM. So let's click here. And here you can see all of the different models. So now I will go back to the terminal. Let's actually close this at the moment. click here and press Command N because we will open separate terminal for this task. So now I have separate terminal, and now what I will type is Ollama pull llama 3.2 and press enter. And now we are pulling the llama 3.2 model locally to my Mac. It's only 2 GB, so it's gonna be pretty fast. It was pretty quick, it took around 30 seconds. Right now let's close both of the terminals. Here we will click terminate as well. Now let's go back to the GitHub repository, click here, localhost 5678 home credentials. Now we will click to llama service and change the base URL to this URL. So let's copy this. So Command C, remove this, Command V and save. And now it should run smoothly. Now let's close this. Let's click on the home icon, go to the demo workflow, click on Ollama chat model, and as you can see, we have Ollama 3.2 latest, and this is exactly the model we installed a few moments ago. In some cases, Mac users might run into one specific issue. Your base URL doesn't stay safe every time you reload the Docker container. It keeps reverting from the host.docker.internal back to the old Ollama 11434, which will cause your Ollama LLM to show an error. So let me show you how it looks. So here we have the right based URL we need, and if we close this and go to the workflow and try to do something, it will work with no problem. Let's say hi. As you can see, there is no problem and workflow executed successfully. But if we go back to the Docker and reload the container, you might have the old URL, which will cause an error. So let's try this. Let's stop this and let's start the container again. Go to the localhost, go to the demo workflow, and let's try to type something. So let's type hi again. And as you can see, here we have fetched failed, and there is a problem with basic LLM chain. So let's open up Ollama chat model, and if we will go here, as you can see, here we have the old base URL, and this is exactly why we have the error. If you have this problem, the solution is simple. Just click here and create a brand new credential instead of editing the default one. So let's click create new credential, change the base URL to host.docker.internal and click save. The connection is successful as well. Let's close this and now use that new credential inside your Ollama chat model. So let's select it, let's close this, and let's try to type hi again. And right now workflow executed successfully. So now if we reload the Docker container, it will have the right base URL every single time. And also don't forget to delete the old credential because at this point you don't need it. So just go here, click to credentials and delete the old one. So this is the new one we created recently, and this is the old one, you can delete it. If you don't have this issue, just ignore this and use the method I showed you before. Welcome back all of the NVIDIA Windows users. This is exactly the part where you should skip to. And now what we will do together is test the n8n if it works locally with our LLM as well. So now what you need to do is double click on Ollama chat model, and because you have Ollama image inside the container, you don't have to create any new credentials because you're already connected to your base URL locally. So for me as a Mac user, this URL looks like this, and if you are NVIDIA Windows user, it should look like this. So actually the base URL for Mac and Windows looks completely different. So be aware of this. So for me the base URL looks like this. I'm gonna close it. So now let's close this, let's go back here, and down here we can ask some question in order to test the LLM. Let's press enter, And now it will use Ollama LLM, and as you can see here we have the output. I'm just a language model, blah blah blah, etc. So this means that our AI starter kit works perfectly, and now we can build AI agents with the n8n locally. If you want to use a different LLM instead of the Ollama 3.2 model we used in this video, adding more is very easy. First, go on ollama.com. You don't have to download anything here, just click on models. And here you can select any model you like. Here we have all of the different models that we can download and start using with our AI agents for free. As an example, let's choose DeepSeek R1, which is a thinking model. Just click on it and you will see the different parameters that the open source version of DeepSeek offers. You can also go to your favorite AI tool, give it your computer specs and ask which version your computer is able to run. Make sure you do the research, because I had a situation when I downloaded too big LLM and my machine crashed because I didn't have the right specs in my computer to run this LLM and it was simply too big for my Mac. So for this example we will select DeepSeek with 1.5 billion parameters. So let's just click copy. Let's go to the home screen, close Docker, and now let's open up terminal. If you are using Windows, make sure you open it as an administrator. Type the command Ollama pull followed by the model name and press enter, and now we are pulling the DeepSeek LLM. Now we see the success message. It was pretty quick, around 10 seconds, because this LLM is pretty small. Now let's go back to the n8n instance, click here. We need to reload the page. And right now here we have the new DeepSeek LLM that we downloaded a few moments ago. Now let's select DeepSeek, let's close this, and right now let's try to type something. And here is the answer. I don't know if it's funny or not, but the most important thing is that DeepSeek works as well. Let's go back to the terminal. If you want to see list with all of your LLMs, just type Ollama list and press enter. And here we see the name of the LLM and the size of the LLM. And if you want to delete any model, just do Ollama RM, which stands for remove, and here you should type the name of the model. So I will just paste the DeepSeek R1 and press enter. And right now we deleted the DeepSeek model we installed recently. Right now let's do Ollama list. And as you can see, we have just Ollama 3.2 latest. So this is how you can install new LLMs to our local n8n instance. So now I will briefly explain how to run this thing. Now open up the Docker app. So here we have the container, and inside of the container we have the images. And if we go to the images tab as well, here we can see these images separately without the container. And if we go to the volumes tab, this is the actual storage we talk about. There is no extra setup here, but I want to explain you how to start this instance when you reload your computer. You should know that hosting n8n locally means that the n8n workspace will only run when your computer is turned on. So if you turn off your computer, this means that you will no longer run your n8n. And now, as a NVIDIA Windows user, the next time when you want to open up your n8n workspace, you need to open Docker Desktop. Go here to the containers and just click start at the top of this table to start your entire container. It will take you few seconds until it's loaded, and then just click here to the localhost 5678 and it will open your n8n workspace. As a Mac user, the process is a little bit different. The next time when you want to run n8n workspace, the first thing you need to do is open Ollama app separately. So the first thing you need to do is open Ollama app, and only after that you open the Docker Desktop app. And after that you go here press start and then click here on localhost 5678. So for Mac users, there is only one extra step. When you want to turn off your computer, the only thing you need to do is press here. It will stop the container and all of the images inside, and you can close the Docker app. That's it. Your n8n instance is now running locally. Now you can build AI agents and AI automations completely for free. Just remember, because it's local, it will not work with webhooks or external internet services by default. If you want webhooks, you need to set up Cloudflare tunnel. I have a full tutorial on that as well. So just click the video on your screen right now or click the link in the description below. If this video helped you, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.